ball to everybody in the stadium besides Josh Harris.
Our best days are ahead of us.
I'm blitzing you, making sure you throw hot. If you don't throw hot, you hit the ground. You know what a superlative is?
I think so. I want
Okay, we had to teach Brad.
Welcome, Commanders family, into Command Center, presented by SeatGeek, the official primary ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders. Brian Cole Jr. here with Santana Moss, Fred Smoot, Logan Paulson. Fellas, the trade deadline just passed, and boy, did we make some moves. Moved Montez Sweat for a second-round pick. We moved Chase Young for a draft pick. It's looking a lot different. Santana, how you feeling, man?
You know, I can hear the boys and men playing. It's so hard to say goodbye. Well, honestly, man, the show goes on.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, man, those guys was great talents. You know, we got a chance to see them play well together. They now will be playing opposite sides of the town, world, state, you name it. But I think we have a lot of talent here, and I'm looking forward to seeing these guys get an opportunity.
Oh, it's one of those things where, hey, it's good to be wanted. We know it's football players. Right. It's a business. Yeah. Hey, I got traded back here, so we never know what can happen on that thing. But I think it was a thing where it was our business and people looking towards the future, and I have to understand that. Chase, great player. Montez, great player. But at the end of the day, it's time for 2 Chainz and it's time for Smith Williams. Give these guys a chance to go out there and make some plays. It happened. One last bark for the dog. All right. Let them be.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tough when you see good players go, but I think in this situation, like, the price was just too good for Montez Sweat, man. Second round pick, that's going to be close to a first. That's going to be a huge building block moving forward. Again, really good football players, like Fred said, but it's a business decision. You got to think about the future. New ownership's thinking about that, and wish them all the best.
Yeah, and the crazy part is we'll be seeing Chase for New Year's Eve. Right. New Year's Eve when the San Fran comes out here and plays us. So it's going to be very interesting to see that matchup. And speaking of matchups, Tanner got on the Eagles green. We just played them Sunday. Fellas, reaction to the game.
Great game, man. But I mean, I think, one of the things about being in our division, we play each other well. We beat each other up. But it's great to see us, the second time in a row that we went out there and faced those guys and played them well, but we didn't get the win. So that's what's going to always leave a bad taste. But I just want to see these guys play that kind of caliber of football each and every week. They did it this week. Let's see it going forward throughout the rest of the year.
B, it was so much good.
So much.
Offensive line, they blocked everybody. I see them blocking fans. I'm coming into the game. I'm talking about Sam Howell just everywhere. I'm talking about dealing. And I saw so much good for it to end so bad. Yeah. So it's one of them things where it lets you know you right there, but we ain't there yet. Yeah. And I think that's why we move forward in this week.
Yeah, I think you see the maturity and the composure that the Eagles brought, right? Yeah. The moment never seemed out of reach. The moment never seemed to be. And there were times with this young offense and the young play callers where it wasn't quite right. The 4th and 8 at the end of the game, the interception late. But Fred said it, man. They did so many good things. It's about, can you build on that, right? They've shown a good performance one week followed by kind of a stinker. Can you continue with that consistency? On the defensive side of the ball, they got some turnovers, right? Which I like. And obviously there's a lot of areas to improve there, but I like getting turnovers, and I like the high-level offensive production, just about sustaining it for 4 quarters.
And take that. We stopped the tush push. Take that, NFL. We showed you the blueprint.
And just like Fred said, there was so much good, and there also was some ice cold moments. Tanner, what's cooler than being cool?
Ice cold! It's time for Ice Cold Moments, presented by Steam Fitters. Steam Fitters, UA, local, 602 provides the highest level HVAC and mechanical piping services.
All right, now first up we have this Terry touchdown, a 26-yarder. Look at Terry go up and get that, looking like Santana Moss.
Hey, man, I ain't gonna lie, Terry looking like Terry. That guy make things happen.
Hey, they got the DB to bite on there right there. Bradbury stopped his feet. Way to go get at the highest point, Terry McLaurin. That's why we pay you the big bucks.
Baller, dude, baller.
And speaking of ballers, let's look at Jamison Crowder's 4th quarter touchdown snag. Man, we have been talking all season about getting this guy more involved. How good was it to see him get a part of this offense?
And he said it, man. They gave him a chance to wet his whistle a little bit, and he did just that. Special teams, he's been stepping up big. Now on the offensive side, I'm looking forward to seeing him do more this week in and week out.
Then throw. That's the throw. They may say everybody feel about Sam Howell like you're a franchise guy. That's a franchise throw right there, Logan.
Yeah, and it's so nice to have that veteran in that kind of slot spot for you. A guy that makes plays, understands the angle, understands the coverage. On paper, that's drawn straight up the field. He knows where the space is versus that coverage. Great job by Jamison. And like you said, Fred, nice to see the young Airwolf making big-time throws.
No doubt.
And next, Jumpman Logan Thomas is up to something. No, this wasn't a touchdown, but man, we got to show my boy showing off the athleticism athleticism with the hurdle. Tanner, you ever jump over somebody?
Hey, no, I haven't, but I wish he'd have told me he's gonna ball like this. I set him down on my fantasy, man.
He should have let you know.
Hey, that remind me of the day I got married and jumped over the broom. Listen, I'm 6 feet high there, right there. To see him get up there, people don't understand how big this guy is and how athletic he is. That's a blessing, right?
I really like this play design. I'm a nerd. I like the play design.
You are.
Second and short situation. Run that keeper, get out there, and let the big man do his work.
And last but not least, we got to give it to our guy, Joey Slye, with a record-breaking field goal, 61 yards.
Ooh, Joey Slye had just got out his car and just started kicking field goals. That's how you know it's good right there. Kick him in the eye, Joey Slye.
Look at that confidence. Look at those biceps.
Big toe Joe.
Let's talk about those biceps.
And speaking of records, our guy, Johan Dotson, had a career day against Philly.
Get rid of it. Finds Dotson. Runs the board at the 45-40.
He has to unload. And does. Dotson with a catch. Johan Dotson.
How about that? Finds Johan Dotson. Eagles bring five. Now it's got time to find Johan Dotson. Wide open. Into the end zone. Touchdown. Big play, Sammy Howell to Johan Dotson.
Now let's check out Johan's record day for today's Air Power, presented by Air National Guard, proud partner of the Washington Commanders. Now Johan Dotson had himself a record performance. That's right, he snagged 8 catches off of 10 targets for 108 yards and a crucial second quarter touchdown. Tanner, you have been saying all season you've been wanting to see Dotson break out. How good is it to see your boy get off?
He's back. The return of the Jedi.
And you know what? I feel like we need some more offensive talk, so let's send it over to Logan Paulson for our Field Pass.
This is your Field Pass presented by FedEx, where now meets next. All right, boys, let's get into this breakdown. Obviously, the Philly game didn't go what we want, but what I love about this film is it shows you a growth from Eric Bieniemy, from this young man right here, Sam Howell, growing up, doing some big boy things. And, this is probably his best game of the season, but I think there's a lot of things layered into it that hopefully they can carry into New England to get that done. So let's look at this first play, Tanner. You know this one. This is this dragon concept, double slant. They're going to get to it in a different way, motion out. And basically, the Philadelphia Eagles are in man. The Patriots play a lot of man coverage, right? They're going to go right here, man. He's going to match the back, right? And as this space vacates in the middle of the field, look at this space right here, Tana. This probably takes you back a little bit, running those choices with Kyle, right? Opens up the middle of the field. I love that Sam knows the coverage. I love that it's a quick drop, right? Not a long drop, man. We got to get the ball out of his hands quickly. 1-2, ball out. Nice ball. Maybe get that ball up a little bit, Tanner. What do you think?
You get that ball up, he catch it a little cleaner. All we see is green grass. Man, look at all this green grass.
Look at the green grass.
God.
Oh, man, it's scary,
Curtis
right?
Samuel probably be hitting his head in the goalpost, man.
Bad position for a
Lord
quarterback
have
right
mercy.
there.
But also, I love that we're getting the ball to our playmakers early, and I love that it helps the O-line. I mean, check out this protection here, man. Like, there's a lot of good things that happen when you get the ball out quick. The rush can't get going. Get the ball out quick. Easy coverage. Love that. That's something we can use against the England, right?
Yes,
we keep that going. The other thing I love is, like, hey, we had a hard time against the Giants, excuse me, with pressure. We got a 5-man pressure, kind of a Cinco front. A lot of ones-on-ones there. Hey, let's get to a screen. Let's run a slammer. I know this doesn't hit big, but at least we're getting the ball out of Sam's hand. We're getting guys in front. And Fred, what do you think here? What do you think?
Jailbreak right here. If Chris Paul slows down, that's bad when you got to tell a 340-pounder, you're a little bit too fast. Slow down right here. Wait on the trash to come and clean it up.
Yeah, absolutely. So even though it's not a big play, man, I think this is on first down. This gets you 2nd and 2.
He's taking a jog in the ball. That ain't. He taking a jog in the paw. That ain't running fast. Tell him to put his head on the swivel. That's what you gotta do. Get his head on the swivel.
Yeah, but it gets you to 2nd and 2. So easy throw for Sam. Ball to the hand quick, right?
Yeah.
All those things we're talking about. Insulate the O-line. That is transferable, right?
Yes.
You can see that because New England, what are they going to do, man? They're going to throw all sorts of crazy coverage.
Kitchen sink.
And they're going to blitz a ton. So give them some of these easy layups. It's just like running the football. Hey, and what do we got? Running the football, man. That's weird, right?
Yeah,
we don't run the football that much. And Tana, I know you don't like offensive line play, but you said something to me, man. Look at this front side double, dude.
I hadn't seen it all year. We hadn't been working together on the offensive line all year long, and this was the first time I saw these guys kind of work off each other. And then you get Chris Paul, man. He come around there and
yes, sir.
Introduce
yourself.
Yeah,
this is what I want to see from our offensive line going forward. And guess what? It's getting colder, so we're going to probably get behind those guys a little bit more. So most of the time when you get into the season of what we in right now, you start bringing out your thick clothes. These guys got to get ready for the run game.
Yeah, and this is Fletcher Cox right here, and they're like, "Hey man, let's just relocate you real quick. Let's move you across the ball, get to the second level. Love the physicality. The other thing I love, man, is the patience by the back.
Yeah,
it's same side power here, right? Watch the patience. Watch the puller get out in front. Watch the double team set. Watch him hold the linebacker. All good stuff, and it all starts with the back being patient, and you get this nice run. Great blocks up front, and he doesn't get touched, man.
No.
Maybe I could have run that.
18 yards later.
You have to give Bates Motel. It's close to
Bates
Halloween.
Motel.
Give Bates Motel one-on-one with Reddick right there. Give him some props right there.
I'm glad you brought that up because this guy had a great game. Really physical on the counters and the powers. Did a great job. Fred, great job giving him his flowers when he needs
I'm
it.
smart like that.
You are smart like that sometimes, man. Jeez. And then Fred, we were talking about this earlier, man.
Yes.
So we got quick game. We got screens. We got run game.
Yeah.
And it all sets this up. We got a little token play action fake in the backfield that helps the offensive line. You got Terry running just basically a go with a guy here to hold him, right, Tanny? You were talking about that earlier.
Into a cover 4 with a guy doing what we call scarecrow legs.
Yes.
If you get scarecrow legs, they mean they not on the ground and they not giving you a chance to break right there. And if you get one step behind Terry, you're going to look at the back of his jersey and you're going to hear the crowd get really loud.
Yeah, so what's this corner looking at, man? I'm not quarterback, obviously.
You said it earlier. Quick game. So now he's saying, let me go make a play.
Yeah.
Think wrong. You think wrong.
No, man, I don't need that. I don't need to be looking back there. That's not my work. I got to get in the quarter half here. Carry over the top. Tough deal. Good recovery by Bradbury. And then Santana.
Throw it up to him.
It's a dime, though. Look at that. Yeah. What's up? And then our guy just said, what's that the kids doing these days? Too tall for you.
I was never that tall.
Nice pass, nice catch, man.
And again, we got to give the O-line some credit. They had a great game.
Yeah,
great pockets.
Game.
Love to see it.
Great
so
pocket.
I love that. Love the methodical kind of nature of this, finding ways to get the playmaker your ball. All that kind of stuff has been excellent from EB. And again, I want to see it against New England. Love this, Tanny. You've been calling for bunches for years now, right? We get into a bunch, 1, 2, 3. They have to match. How are they going to match? Look at them talking, man. Who do you got? I got this guy. You got that guy. I don't know.
And we got nobody.
Yeah, and then watch. When you're in a bunch, man, you create natural picks. So John just going to run right across the field. They're trying to set up this choice with the vertical here. But look at Slay gets picked. He can't make the play.
Yes.
It's man coverage. Nakobe Dean's vacating with the back. They're trying to bring pressure. This is one of the problems of bringing pressure is you're shorting coverage. Great job by Sam taking advantage and understanding that it's man coverage and how to beat it. So when we're talking about all this stuff, man, we're talking about all of these concepts, the quick game, the screens, the play action pass, the run game, all that stuff is transferable, I think, to New England, right?
Yes, I do.
So when I can't wait to watch this offense execute at a high level next week. What's up, dude?
Now I had to jump in, Logan, to help you out. So this is like on your head, Tom. So when you go, back in the day when you said you were dunking on people, you do this. I got that on your head, right?
It never happened.
Well, great to see you guys break down the offense, and we hope this offense can keep things rolling against the New England Patriots. Now let's get a look at this game day guide brought to you by SeatGeek, your ticket to great Commander seats. Now our Commanders will be back behind enemy lines. That is right. We'll be playing at 1 p.m. at Gillette Stadium against the New England Patriots. And that's just going to be our guys behind enemy lines. We going to be behind enemy lines too, right? That's right. Your favorite pre and post game show will be in New England. That's right. Me, B. Mitch, and Santana Moss will be there pregame, giving you everything you need to know about your matchup. Tanner, you excited about that?
I'm always excited, man. 2 old school players giving you great insight pre and post game. What more can you ask
It's a beautiful thing, and it's not just Sunday. Saturday, we are giving you the Saturday special out in New England. That's right. We'll be out at a bar at a Commanders rally, giving you everything you need to know, a real deep dive into this matchup before we take over on Sunday. Now that y'all got all these details, I think it's time to have the tone set. Let's set it over to my guy, London Fletcher.
It's time to set the tone. Brought to you by the Maryland Lottery Fast Play Games. Play fast, win fast today. Please play responsibly. Don't believe the narrative that the dark days have arrived here in D.C. Here in Ashburn at 3-5, our season is over. Don't believe that. We got 9 games left. Our season is just beginning. We're about to go on a playoff run. We're going to be led by the arm of Sam Howell, the running of B-Rob and Antonio Gibson, the playmaking of our defense led by Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne. Our defensive backs are ready to make plays. Jamin Davis, the linebacker extraordinaire, is ready to make plays. Believe in what we're about to do here in D.C. Our best days are ahead of us. Believe it starts this weekend in New England against the New England Patriots.
Man, shout out to London Fletcher for setting the tone and getting us right for our Week 9 matchup against the New England Patriots. Now it's time for our headlines presented by the Washington Times. Fellas, our first headline, Fred, I'm starting with you. Our new look defensive line. A lot of things changed. Talk about that defensive line.
A lot different, but I can say this: the last couple of years maybe prepared us for this. Not having Chase for a year and a half, him being out with injury, Montez missing some time with injury, so that means Hill and James Smith-Williams got a ton of reps, got a ton of starts in here, and that's what happens when you have a rotation this thick. I think with 9 men thick on that defensive line, I think that gives you a chance to establish players, not like other teams that lean on all their starters. So it's different, and we're gonna miss both of them guys, but I hate to say it, I think we've been here before, right?
I think we have been here before, and I think you bring up a great point in that these guys that are backups have played a lot of football for us, and when they've played, the defense has been a little bit more consistent because you get 2 guys who are going to do what they're supposed to do more consistently. So bringing a guy, James Smith-Williams, he's going to do exactly what you tell him to do. It's going to elevate John, right? Casey Toohill is kind of the same thing, and the guy that I'm really bummed about is Montez. I think he's an excellent football player. He plays really well in the context of this defense, played well with the other guys on the D-line, but I think the price there was too great. But I think, New England's a great opportunity, right? You got a guy who's not a mobile quarterback. You mentioned that earlier today. Let those guys eat. That offensive line's got one good player in Trent Brown. Everyone else is kind of middle of the road. Can you win those one-on-ones? I think this is a good opportunity to kind of say, hey, man, we're okay. We've got some good football players, some good depth here. They're not as physically talented as the guys that are leaving, but they're gonna play in the context of this defense at a high level.
Yeah, 2 things both of you guys have said. You talked about it being here before. You talked about just how those guys have showed up in the game, and you saw more consistent play. I'm really interested now just to see how much different it looks for Payne and Allen, knowing that those guys, they played with other guys on the outside of them, and how much more that helps their game going forward. I think when you play all those guys on that front line, it's kind of hard for them all to be special. You know what I'm saying? So now you get a couple of, regular guys, and I want to call them regular, just guys that's going to be more traditional, that's going to play, within the scheme. I'm looking forward to. I still have high hopes for what those guys can do in the defensive line. It is sad to see those other guys go, but guess what? Must go on. We got to keep playing.
And I think all eyes will be on that defensive line. But let's flip the script to our next headline, which is our offensive line versus the Patriots defensive line. Fred, I'm going to take to you.
Hey, our offensive line, if they can mimic what they did this week, and I know it was a lot of quick passes, but I seen some battles in the A and the B gap with Big Lawson. I'm talking about setting the tone from the center position, not just with physicality. He's setting it with the brain power, too. He's identifying the mic. He letting them know where the wheel is. He letting them know where the blitz can come from. He's sliding protection. And Chris Paul, a mountain of the man, the mountain that moves. He's a guy that really showed me a lot, because my big thing with him was, what is he going to do in open space? Like, I know what he can do in close quarter, but open space, he proved to be a playmaker out there. So can they do it again and again?
Yeah, I think like this week against New England, it's going to be a huge deal, right? Because one of the things that Bill Belichick does, he says, hey, man, what don't you do well? I'm going to do that thing a ton. And so I would imagine he's going to bring a ton of pressure. When you watch their film, we just watched a little bit when we were getting ready for the show. They got a lot of high-level pressures, 6-7 man pressures, different patterns and stuff. And the thing that's most important about that stuff is, can you target that correctly to keep Sam Howell upright? So I think they're talking about the physical battles. They don't have a guy that sticks out to you defensively. You're like, wow, that guy's really good.
Blow me away.
But the scheme is something that is really good. And so can our scheme with EB, Ken Larson, identify the fronts and elevate this group? I think that is the storyline this week with our offensive line.
Yeah, the Patriots are going to bring it. They're going to, basically see what we did, not so good earlier in the year and say, hey, can we mimic that from other defenses and kind of present that to our offensive line? One of the things that stood out to me is the first time all year I saw those guys play off each other and play well together. So I'm looking forward to seeing them do that against this, top 15 defensive line that they're going up against. Hey, you played that well against the top, number 1 on the top 5, defensive line within in our division. Can you do that against a top 15, a little lesser, but we don't know these guys as well. We knew, the Philadelphia Eagles. So that's what I want to see. Can we go out there and play a consistent game and show up twice and not just put it on the field one time?
And I also think it's more than that, too. I think it's also EB, right?
I would just say the biggest challenge he faces all year is the perhaps the greatest coach of all time, and he just happened to be defensive minded. Yep. So I think the pen work, the pencil and the pen, gonna be a big thing. I don't know if it's gonna be about the players. I think it's more about the coaches on this.
100%.
And our next headline is a guy that I think all of us have been impressed with, and that's our quarterback, Sam Howell, going against who you mentioned, Hall of Fame coach, Bill Belichick. Let's talk about that a little bit, Fred.
He's a head coach that don't take it easy on young guys. That's what I say about Belichick. Like Tanner said, he's going to find what you're uncomfortable with. He's going to find what you don't like. So everything we seen against the Falcons, I seen against the team that we didn't move the ball down the field, throwing the ball, that's what you're going to see on the pass side. From the line of scrimmage, everything Wink Martindale did. Setting you on fire, blitzing you, making sure you throw hot. If you don't throw hot, you hit the ground. So that's going to be the big thing with Sam. This to me, and I know Wink was hard, I know we didn't play against some good defenses, I think this is going to be the ultimate challenge. So can he endure the first half with Coach Belichick? Because I think if he can endure the first half, he'll be all right the second half.
Yeah, because I think to that point, like the thing is you don't really know. Like we can kind of like roughly anticipate, hey man, they'll probably play a little 2-man, they'll probably play cover 3. But the thing is when you watch the film, they do a little bit of everything. And so one of the things about the Eagles that made I think Sam play well is it was either man or it's cover 3. There wasn't a lot of mixing up in there, and so it was really easy to identify. Here it's going to be like, it's going to look like man, but it's cover 2. Or it looks like cover 2, but it's going to be cover 3, and we're bringing all out pressure. So can we help him out identifying fronts, and can Sam, just like you said, be cool, calm and collected, and weather that storm? That's a really compelling thing in this game.
Yeah, speaking of helping them out too, it's just, can we stay ahead of the chains like we did this past weekend?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Stay ahead of the chains, allow us to be able to rely on the run a little more too. So that's one of the things I want to be looking forward to. We're not, talking about the pen and stuff, getting ready. We know what he's going to do. He's going to bring something, exotic, something that we saw before, something that he's going to basically say, Sam, all right, beat us with your arm. So I want to see our run game play a huge role also, but as well, just seeing us take advantage of the things that's presenting to us. Don't try to sit back there and drop and try to read. Get the ball out your hand, give it to the open guy, move on.
And in regards to Sam, I don't think people really realize how good of a season he is having statistically. Yes, he has to improve. Yes, there are things that got to get better. However, I think it is time to take a look at Sam's stats and see how that plays with the rest of the NFL. This is how our quarterback Sam Howell stacks up against the league. You see his passing yards at 2,146. That is 6th overall in the NFL. Rushing yards 130. That is 7th in the NFL. Completions 206. That is in the top 5. Yes, he is at 3rd. And then, of course, touchdowns with 13. We know Sam likes to slang those touchdowns. He is tied for 6th in the NFL. So good to see our guy Sam numbers continue to grow and to see him continue to progress. And if these numbers don't get you fired up, I know somebody that will. Fred, take it away.
I got you, B. Time for Fred's Fired Up. Presented by FanDuel. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of your Washington Commanders. Bam! Welcome to Fred's Fired Up. And I'm fired up about that young Airwolf. I'm fired up about that young Sam. He threw the ball to everybody in the stadium besides Josh Harris. Most definitely I'm fired up, but I'm fired up about that offensive line.
Oh, they play good, man.
Lobster say, let me hike the ball. Let me stand up for him. Hey, Chris Paul came in there and made some things happen. He moved some people right there. So I'm fired up about that. The question is, can you do it over? And over.
Yes, Fred.
And over again. I challenge you, Sam Howell. I challenge you, offensive line. And that's why we always fired up. It's time for Chopping It Up, presented by DC Primes, Lounge Premier Steakhouse. For dinner reservations or private dining, call 703-840-2099. And I gotta ask you this. Did you hate that I was Coach Gibbs' favorite? Like, did you hate the Chicago Bear game that he gave me the game ball? Talk about that. How about you talk about that?
First of all, it was first of all, let's talk about that stretch.
It was a Thursday night game, yeah.
Sean had passed away.
Yep. Weeks before this.
My dad was in a coma, so I had,
you're dealing with a lot.
That was a tough year for me because my dad was in a coma. I sat by Sean.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was void because my dad I couldn't have a relationship with. Sean, who sat beside me in the team meetings, was gone. So I'm doing everything I can to perform and play, right? My back hurt, everything.
We didn't even know if you were gonna play it against the Bears. Like you gained time to see it.
I'm gonna shape it for everybody to know. We gotta win like 5 straight to make it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Another Greg Williams and Sean Springs and Fred Smoot meeting. I always name myself first because I'm a star.
Yeah, you're not.
Okay. So anyway, we go in there and Greg goes.
Yeah.
But Coach Bloss goes, you guys, I'm gonna call the same coverage play man
Every play.
every play, and we're gonna win down the stretch.
Yeah.
If we're gonna win or
y'all
lose,
hold up.
and we can hold up,
Yeah.
right? You start off Minnesota, we balling, right? I go in the Chicago game, bad back, I'm giving it all.
Yeah.
Had the best game of my life.
Yeah, you did.
Thursday night, Deion called that game. I never forget me because I talked to him after the game.
Yeah, no. You balled 2 picks, almost ran one back. But you know what? Fred Smoot was on the field. And Coach Gill felt like I
You
had
went on the field for half a game. You come out of the
I had
locker
a full
room.
body cramp, right? Full body. You don't know how they feel. My tongue, everything. I'm just in there, right?
Your ear cramp.
Oh, I'm an ear cramp. It folded down. I thought I was Spock. I ain't know what was going on. So they put like 3 IVs in me. So while they going to get, because I'm telling them to go get me a full
You saw me
IV.
making too many plays. You
I'm
ain't like
watching
that.
TV. I'm watching TV and I'm like, Blue, this Blue doing this? So you know what?
Couldn't help me making all them
So I
plays.
tell the trainer, like, check this out, go get my shoes from the back. I snuck out the training room. They wouldn't let me out. I threw my cleats on.
And ran on the field like a hero.
Like Rocky.
And you know what's crazy about it? You didn't even go to the sideline. You just ran
I
in the
ran
game.
right on the field. I told Lee Master, get out of here. I got this. And did nothing. Literally, I knocked the last play down in the end zone.
On the end zone.
That's all Coach Gill's need. And I seen you when he called us in, like, hell of a victory, guys. By the way, I want to get this game ball. I seen you getting up. I
thought it was me.
You getting up. He like, no, sit down. Fred Smoot. Yeah, I'm like, Coach, you the one, Coach. You the reason for this season.
I told Coach Gill, the devil is a lie. And Coach Gill, the devil is a lie. I was so hot at Coach. I'm still mad about Coach.
And I got that game ball at home. I meant to take a picture of this, send it to you.
Now, we've had a lot of fun on this show, but it's time to have a little more before we go. And we're bringing in the legend, London Fletcher, to join us on this. London, good to see you.
Welcome,
now
Coach.
it's time for player superlative. Now, London, do you know what a superlative is?
I think so. I went to
Okay,
John
we had to
Carroll.
teach Fred early, so you don't have to. All right, so we're going to start with you.
Yeah.
Which player on the Commanders is most likely to get after the quarterback?
I'm going to go with Deron Payne as my guy most likely to get after the quarterback. I know last year, a season ago, he had 11.5 sacks, 18 tackles for loss. This year, not quite being able to get after the quarterback to that same degree, but I know now he feels the pressure and saying, hey, I got to turn up my game. I'm going to go with Deron Payne as the guy who is most likely to get after the
Yeah, I love
quarterback.
that one. That's excellent.
Yeah,
I can dig it on that one too.
Kind of low-hanging fruit, though.
Yeah.
Because he got 4 or 5 different guys. I could have went Allen.
Yeah,
I could have went Casey 2 Hill. Casey 2 sacks.
Yeah, 2 sacks.
James Hyde.
5 sacks this year.
Yeah.
Now, Tanner, this one's tailor-made for you.
Yeah.
This one is who's most likely to go for 100 yards.
Oh,
Low
God.
hanging fruit.
What you doing? Is it Terry McLaurin?
I'm gonna go with Terry, but you heard that already. He was in the meeting with me. I'm gonna go with Terry because Terry's one of those guys. Before Johan got his this past weekend, Terry's been the guy. He's the guy that we have a high volume of opportunities to. So I'm gonna go with Terry McLaurin until I see anybody else go out there and get the same kind of value.
Especially after those 2 missed catches, he gonna want to revive himself and pick it up.
Yeah.
Now, Logan, you're next.
Oh, shoot, okay.
Which Commanders player is most likely to lead the team in tackles?
Yeah, you're going to be a little surprised by this one.
All right,
you ready?
yeah.
No, it's not. It's Jamin Davis.
You gotta get all of it.
The team in sacks last year.
Yeah, come on,
So
man.
Jamin Davis doesn't lead the team in tackles right now. It's Cody Barton, but I think he's going
Cody
to
Barton on IR.
Yeah, but hey, let me finish my analysis. He's going to be playing the mic a little bit more. He's been very, very healthy throughout his career. He plays through injury, going to be on the field a ton. And then middle linebacker position in this defense gets a lot of tackles. So I know low-hanging
Let
fruit,
me
but-
go pick up this apple.
Leave a comment, which is low. The guy the team in sacks last year or Jamin Davis? Come on.
Yeah.
And Fred, last but not least,
Yeah.
most likely to get the game ball. Now, this isn't just any game ball.
Any
This
game
is
ball?
the Command Center game ball. So this is between all of us.
Yeah.
Who is most likely to get the Command Center game ball? Very prestigious.
Me! Cause I'm the only one on DB on this team. Ain't gave up a tub. Ain't never got burnt. And ain't gave up no yards this year. At the end of the day, we've been rocking in that backfield. So I had to nominate myself. And look at it, it's in black and white. Look at that mustache. You know that mustache? That's all I'm saying. And at the end of the day, this guy is the guy I believe in.
Well, luckily, Fred's takes are a lot stronger than that mustache. Until next time, we'll be back next Thursday on Command Center. Until then, we will see you in New England against the Patriots.
Only this dude.
That mustache terrible, the hairline terrible. That hairline terrible, the mustache terrible.
See, that's a hairline that ain't never going nowhere.
Tonight, Dad came with. He didn't want his little sweet potato to be here without him. But now, he really wishes she was here without him. Next time, he'll just let her roll with her new entourage. And he'll only trust SeatGeek with the tickets. Because when she finds her happy place, he can find his way back to the car. The ticketing app trusted by fans. SeatGeek, so fans can fan.